Before I proceed with this video, I understand it might be a little bit too long for some of you, so if you could just scroll down and take a look at the description right now, you will see I have provided chapters. So for example, if you've looked at these skins and thought, oh wow, those hoodie and pants look very nice, and you just desperately want to see them right now, well, you know what, just look at the description. You can skip ahead. It's all provided to you, all the chapters are there. And with that, good day, Ruskin enjoyers. It is April 24, 2025, and we have got the last Rust store for April 2025. So, just to remind all of you, next week, Jungle Update is releasing. May 4 Swipe is going to be pretty insane. We are expecting a lot of people to turn up for that. Kind of makes sense. The first ever instance where a brand new biome is being introduced into Rust. And I know a lot of people are very eager for it. All those brand new animals that are going to attack you. All those brand new weapons. All the fun little things to find out. Oh yes, it's going to be absolutely awful because you can hide so easily in the foliage. Oh, God. Anyway, it's all good. Right, so, a very big updates next week, but the batch of skins that we got, it's pretty alright. Nice variety, no complaints. Another TGG skin has been accepted. This is to be expected. They appear every 3 to 4 months. We actually have already seen this. It was actually on the workshop like a good few weeks back, so I've already made a video showcasing it in a short video, so go give that a good look. You can see me compare this with the Redemption Python and the Blackout Python. I wonder why. I wonder why. So yeah, anyway, nice, cool. So let's hop out of here and figure out which of these skins are not abnormal. And I can confirm to you, out of all 12 of these skins, well, we've got a weird thing going on here. Only the pickaxe, the Thompson, the small box, and the Python, these skins are not abnormal. It's weird because normally with like a pair of tools, both of them would normally sell for the same price, but this is selling for $1.99, and that hatchet right there is selling for $2.49. It's got a bit of interesting transparency on it, and you'll see that a little bit later. But yeah, that means this not being abnormal, but this one actually being abnormal, we don't really tend to see that much. So if you're sitting there wondering, what on earth is this going about? Abnormals, regular skins? Well, if you could consider going to my YouTube right now very quickly, you could see that we got a video right here called Ruskin Abnormal Barders for April 24, 2025. Consider giving that a good watch. Maybe watch the first 5 minutes, go to the chapters, skip ahead to the actual Barders. You'll basically understand that abnormal skins become marketable before the Rust is even rotated. So a nice advantage to be aware of, and of course to jump in and get some early Barders on certain skins. So alright, cool. We are fully well aware, out of 12 skins, 8 of them are abnormal. Next week we've got a decent amount of skins to chase after. So let me just close all of this. And now, let me point out that I should say that with the past 2 or 3 weeks, we've had some issues with skins on the Steam market. A lot of you have noticed that you couldn't list them. Well, that seems to have been fixed. So, of course, with the Rust rotating today, Carrot Combat Knife has become marketable. You can see there are 2 listings, and the Barders are looking pretty good. They're going almost all the way up to $2. So that's looking good. But you might have noticed that you couldn't see anything on a horse costume for a while. That's been resolved. Unfortunately, due to the fact that nobody could list anything, the only way in which you could actually sell these skins or these items was to sell to the highest buy order. That has been a bit of a negative impact. That has caused the very strong high buy orders for a lot of the skins and the items to disappear because some people, they got a little bit unsure, a little bit antsy, and they sold directly to the highest buy order and ran away. So yeah, support for some of the skins and some of the items isn't looking super great. But I'm sure as time goes on, they'll recover, they'll improve. So at least you are aware of that now. Steam market issues almost fully resolved, but unfortunately the front page is still, that's still a bit funny. That's a Steam issue though. Go look at Counter-Strike, go look at TF2 and Dota. They're suffering with the same issue. At some point it will be fixed, so we'll find out when. Right then, so I should also point out here is the micro522.com website. The accepted skins, as you can see, a lot of positivity with the upvote to downvote ratio, except the tools. So, okay, well, at the end of the day, still a very nice variety and whatnot. Let's now hop over to here and take a quick look at all the skins that we saw being accepted today. Right, not that much green, because perhaps next week we're going to see a lot more green. Makes sense, I'm sure. But, okay. A brand new M249. We've actually had quite a lot of these so far this year, haven't we? Yes, we have. So, yeah, a bit of fee, but 3 already, and we've only just rolled into almost the 5th month. So we don't really tend to see that many being accepted, but doing pretty good at the moment. Saps, well, initially it looked like we are going to get that many this year, and now it's actually looking like we're starting to get a decent amount. Yes, these have gone down in price a fair bit initially, but overall, a lot of the saps do seem to be holding up ever so nicely. And yes, the green one got bought out because people were buying out all green things for the jungle update. You're going to find out a lot of stupid things about this. In fact, if I could just also point out, going back over to Bombshell, as I have said, every 3 to 4 months, there is going to be a Bombshell skin being accepted. And you might notice with the Bombshell backpack, it's now selling for $6.32. A lot of people have bought out a lot of green stuff, and a lot of people bought that out because they thought it was going to be very good for the jungle. Here's the stupid thing. The default backpack is green. Yes, they bought that, think it was be great, it's going to be great camouflage, even though the standard backpack is much better as green camouflage. So, cool. But yeah, cool. Very nice. Now, back over to here. I have to bring this up. So, they decided to call the AK that. Cool. Yeah, awesome. So you get to hold the cock AR in your hands. Yes. I'm sure a lot of people will be very happy about that. And, yeah, overall, it's fine. We got to see some continuations when you actually look at it and whatnot. So, all right. Shall we just get started now? Shall we actually start showcasing all the skins? Okay then, so first up, Faction New M249. So this is a collection continuation. We have had the AK, the SAP, and now the M249. You might notice that these have sold at higher prices, and they're not doing too good. The AK, down by 50%. The SAP, doing not too bad, but still down by 20%. And now we have the Faction New M249. By default, I'm going to give you a very straightforward answer. I don't think this is going to retain its price. Really? Yes. So M249s as recent, they have not been holding up very nicely. We just had one for Easter, and it's already down by a third. Well, you could say both of these are actually holiday-themed skins, but at the end of the day, I will ask you, how often are you even using an M249? I guess you should consider people in certain different types of servers. Yes, I could consider that, but judging by the majority of the skins not really looking very good at the moment, down pretty bad, I'm under the assumption that they don't get used enough, and I can't help but assume this is going to probably go below $1. So this very likely will be a straightforward 60 cents to 80 cent approach, but at the end of the day, Hedge, maybe we should just wait it out and see how many sales happen, because if I could just point this out to you, with the previous week, we did not see that many sales overall. The top selling skin was only 8,000 subscribers. So that was Easter week 2. We could probably put our hands up and say, you know what, maybe people just weren't very enthusiastic for that. Not going to say no. I think a lot of people were pretty vocal saying they didn't care. Okay. But are we going to see at least something similar in terms of sales? I still think we'll get over 10,000 subscribers for at least a couple of these skins. But I wouldn't be expecting a ton. I think a lot of people probably will be like a little bit conservative with their funds. Because next week, who knows what's going to get accepted. But we're not going to be surprised if we see a lot of green stuff. I think a lot of people are very much looking forward to that. So for the M249, at the very least, shall we go in game right now and give it a good look? So let's go do that. And here we are, and we're bam. So for what it is, Mr. Bad Trip has done a very nice. Okay, so give that a good look. I can't get the sunlight on this, it's really annoying me. But don't be fooled, this is not a black M249. As you can see, used for red aim sight. But quick look at night time. As you can see, no glow in the dark whatsoever. Aim down. Not much night light there either. Okay. But yeah, it is like very reflective. And well, why don't we show this on stage just to see this for yourself? Very reflective, as you can see. Looking very nice and shiny. Quick reload. So, what are your thoughts? Feel free to comment below. And, of course, now let's do a nice little showcase. So, yes, look at that. Now, it's $3. But, again, I just can't help but assume it's going to go down in price. But with all the skins today, I will sit here and say, look, not everything has to be an investment, all right? If you truly like a design, if you truly like to see more of this collection, consider just buying it, treat yourself, and support those skin creators. Keep them nice and motivated to keep wanting to put out nice creative designs in the future, all right? But yeah, M249s, getting quite a lot this year, and maybe we'll see a lot more in the future. So at the very least, shall we now go ahead and take a look at the next skin? And next up, what do we have right here? Why, it's a collection continuation for the Deep Ruby collection. And you might notice that has a very useful red aim sight right there. All right then, quick look at night time. Give that a good look. Do you happen to see its aim sight ever so nicely in the night light? Doesn't appear to glow in the dark, as you can clearly see. Well, that's nice. Thank you for showing. Right then, so quick little reload. I will ask you, this collection's been pretty successful so far this year. What would you like to see next? Feel free to comment below. Now let's go ahead and showcase this on stage. Now that is looking very nice and shiny. That is looking very, very tasty. So in general, SAP skins tend to retain their value very, very nicely. But the two most recent ones not exactly holding up super great, are they? So shall we go back and take a look at all of that and consider how we might want to approach this skin? So, over to here, let's give it a good look. As of recent, we have had the factory new SAP, and of course we've had the minicopter SAP. Now factory new, you're quite nice and shiny. Minicopter SAP, you are not so much. Two perfectly reasonable looking designs, but let's actually go to their Steam market pages, give them both a good look. Now, how many listings do we actually see? 56. Usually, on average, we see 100 listings for most skins in general, and that's only just one listing. That's just one listing, that's all. So I don't even think you can consider that being in any trouble. It's very thin. And just to point out to many curious people, how am I able to see all of this? I'm using Steam Inventory Helper. It's an extension on Chrome. So yep, there you go. That seems to be doing pretty all right, to be honest. Now over to here, the minicopter SAP. Well, it's got even less quantity. And as you can see with the listings, okay, yeah, this has gone down a fair bit more. There's more listings. You can reasonably sit here and say it's definitely looking like that's a bit worse off. But in general, that ain't that bad. So, okay, let's take this into consideration. Deep Ruby collection, how's this currently holding up? Initially it was an AK, then we had the crossbow, then we had the tools. Down by 45, unfortunate, but it did sell at 3 to 49. The crossbow's down a fair bit, not down ridiculously. And the tools, well, it's quite rare to see tools not all the way down to $1. I'm going to sit here and say, with the SAP, judging how many of the other SAPs have performed, I think this would be probably the best performing skin in terms of the whole collection. But what could we expect next from this? Is this just going to remain being a weapon-only collection? Or could we actually see some deplorables? Maybe some clothing and armour? That's Deep Ruby? I mean, we'll see, alright, but I think it could still do better. And again, maybe we don't see that many sales. Maybe things could actually work out. So, it's abnormal. We can wait until next week, approach it then. But, yeah, we've got to be a little bit cautious still. Maybe it only does 10,000 subscribers. Okay, you know what? That makes it a whole lot more interesting. But we can't find out until next week, so it's better to be patient. Let's just leave it. And let's move on to the next skin. The Ape Lord door. So, okay, that's cool. Interesting glow-in-the-dark design, which we're about to see. But, sheep in the doors, how many have we had so far? And we should also point this out. What are we expecting soon? Yes, another Twitch drop is just around the corner, right? So, I'm looking at these skins. Yes, B Matador is actually doing a good job retaining its price. That's very nice to see. That just became marketable, so we can't rejudge that yet. But down 67, down 53, down 52, down 35. It ain't looking pretty. And with the amount of sheep doors we saw being accepted last year, yeah, I can't help but assume we're probably going to go through the same routine all over again. Now, Ape Lord door, as I said, a very cool looking design produced by Sad Happy. It's just, there will be more sheep doors that look very cool. It's inevitable. And they'll still go down in price because more and more will keep appearing. We have far too many sheep doors that exist in the game, and it's hard for them to retain interest. It's hard for them to retain their price. So, at the very least, let's go in game and give it a good look. And as you can see, that is looking very interesting. That is looking very cool. Other side, you can see the faint glow right there. The eyes, they are staring at me. And of course, we could just quickly change this to nighttime. Give that a good look. Is it reflective? Within reason, not super shiny. And if we could go to total darkness, as you can see, stands out ever so viciously. So that's a very angry looking ape. Do you consider an angry ape enjoyer? It's a bit weird thing to say, but anyway, do you like it? That's what matters most. If you do, just go buy it. Treat yourself. But if you're looking at this as an investment, buddy, I think I already kind of pointed out the issues. We have far too many sheep in the doors. I will not be surprised if that goes down in price. I won't be surprised at all if it potentially goes all the way down to $1 at some point this year. That might not happen until maybe October time, but it still feels like an inevitability. There will be a lot more sheet metal doors being produced and accepted. I don't think we can avoid the price drops. So, yes, we had some very cool designs being accepted last year. Now look at most of them. Yeah, so I feel like I got my point across, but it's a very cool looking design. And maybe it could develop into a brand new deployable collection. That's up to the skin creator. So, keep an eye out, all right? This upcoming weekend, could we see maybe a large box, a sheet metal double door, a garage door? Who knows? But the possibility is now making things interesting. And so that, shall we now hop out of here and showcase the next skin? Where is it? Oh, don't mind me. I'm just holding my cock AR. So, this was called the Rooster AK on the workshop, and Face Punch just had to. They just had to. They insisted on calling it a cock AR. Do you want to run around with your cock out? Okay, so anyway, useful red aim sight, looking pretty good, looking very nice. Quick look at night time, give that a good look. As you can see, it's not super bright, not that much night light going on there, but clearly it doesn't glow in the dark, as you can see. Right, nice little reload, looking very nice. So yeah, what are your thoughts? Are you going to run around with your cock out? Should we go showcase on some stage now? Come on. Keep a straight face and just flail my cock around in the lights. Yep, looking very nice and shiny. I'm sure a lot of people would agree. Oh, there you go. Alright. So, not too bad. A fun, silly design produced by Mr. Little Ranger. Yes, so, what are your thoughts? Do you like it? And could we potentially see a lot more? Could we probably get some bigger guns for a bigger... You know what? I think we should just pop out of here and, just talk about things from what we see on SCMM.app. So keep an eye on Little Ranger and Graham Crowan's workshops from here and now, because I'm pretty sure we'll probably be seeing a lot more cock, right? So, point made, rooster, caca. Right, awesome. Don't get angry. Please, YouTube, just don't get angry at me. I'm just saying what I'm seeing. Anyway, so AK-47s in general, every single year, right? We tend to only see a couple AKs actually maintain their price. This is selling at $2.49, but the point I'm trying to get across is don't be surprised if it ends up going down to maybe $1, alright? However, is the joke strong enough? Is the price actually going to retain simply because people get to sit there and say, I'm running around with... Anyway, so... Down 51, down 48, down 69, down 60, down 61, 96 cents, $1.20, 92 cents... That is actually still $2.60. All right, fair enough. And that's still $2. That's already gone down to $1. Oh, dear. And I should point out, yes, we're going to get a brand new AK next week. With the Jungle DLC, there is a brand new AK. You could go watch Mr. Shadowfrax. You could go watch Mr. Protox. They've already got videos showcasing it. It is a very weird blocky AK. I don't think people are going to be super enthusiastic for it forever. However, it is a brand new special AK. And unfortunately, if we keep seeing more and more and more, it's going to become more of a problem for these to retain interest. So from what you can see here, that's actually the medieval AK design. I'm sure at some point that'll get updated, right? So, all right, you're aware. Cool. And of course, Twitch drops and whatnot, as time goes on. Will people still want to hold their cock AKs and still be happy? I don't know. It's a bit conflicting, all right? So we'll see what happens next. It could turn into a collection. We could still keep the joke up, but right, we'll see. Starry Dream Thompson. So, we do get quite a lot of Thompsons here and there. Just to point out, so far this year, we have had 3. One of them being a Twitch drop, Abyss Thompson, Popstar Thompson. Now, with the Abyss Thompsons, part of the Abyss collection, that's doing pretty okay at the moment in terms of overall interest. The prices are basically holding up. And with this specific Thompson here, it was expected this was going to have a bit of a drop-off initially. As you can see, it's still looking pretty thin. 1, 6, 1, 11, 2, 5, 3, 1, 1, 1, 2, 4, 1, 1, 1, 2, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. So I still think we probably need a good 20, 30 sales and we're back up to its rust or price. But I will not be surprised if we get there, eventually. And with the Popstar Thompson, we brought this up a little bit earlier. This is one of the skins that was suffering with the Steam market issue. And the bilders it had, they've kind of shrunk down a fair bit because this is a $2.49 skin. It's gone down, but as you can see the listings, it's actually very thin. Someone listed 89 above $4. So if you now that you see the reality, do you reckon that's do you reckon this is actually going to rise back up in price and go over its rust or price? I think that will. So okay, you know what? That's not looking too bad then, is it? Starry Dream Thompson selling at a standard $2 price. It is a black Thompson, and you know what? Let's go in game and give it a good look. So over to here. I'm aiming down. It's got just a little bit of white at the very top there. I'm sure you can see that. There you go. And of course, at night time, we'll probably be able to see that a little bit better. So aim down. Night light. Take me away. Oh, there you go. I can see all the stars. That isn't glow. That's night light. I still can't really see the aim sight, to be honest with you. Give that a nice little inspection. Oh, I can see the moon. Right, cool. Anyway, back over to here. Give that a nice little reload. A perfectly fine fun design produced by SunArt. Maybe we'll see a lot more of these in the future. But the other skins, they're not exactly holding up super great. What was it? An AK and a SAR? It's a weapon-only collection. And guess what? With weapon-only collections, they don't hold up very nicely. But with this Thompson in particular, Thompsons are still appreciated quite nicely. I think this might do a decent job of retaining most of its value. I still think it will still go below its rust or price, though. Maybe, at its worst, down by about 20%. Which would mean you could probably still do like a $1.30 bar order, pick these up for a fairly cheaper price, flip them on the Steam market during good times, and good times are expected to be around the summertime, which we're just about to creep into, so it's for your consideration, alright? So shall we go ahead and showcase this on the stage? This certainly isn't very reflective, as you can clearly see. So yes, give that a good look. It's a very nice, comfy looking design. Do you like what you see? Feel free to comment below. And what Starry Dream weapon skin would you like to see in the future? What would you like to see next? Oh, a revolver. Yes, please. That'd be nice. You always want revolvers, Hedge. Yeah, because they sell well and they do a good job retaining their price. Alright then, so shall we now go ahead and talk about the next skin, which is going to be pretty interesting with the amount of discussion we're going to have. So keep an eye out on the workshop. At some point, I do expect more Starry Dream skins to be produced. I've already seen a Python. I've already seen an MP5. But down 56, down 52. I don't think the Thompson would be as bad as these two, but I do still anticipate like a bit of a drop off in the price. Again, you can pick it up for a cheaper price. That's nice, isn't it? Yeah. Alright, cool. It's not abnormal, but we can accept that. So moving on to the next skin. Here we have the Chrome Bombshell Python. Selling at a standard price of $2, which I'm actually very surprised about, because this has a very interesting aim sight. There are only two other Python skins that have this exact same aim sight. The Redemption Python, which is currently retaining its price, and the Blackout Python, which is the most expensive Python right now, I believe, at $11. Let's just quickly point this out. So, highest price, please. And, oh no, Morocco Python. I think you were manipulated some point before, but anyway. This has genuine interest, and the Redemption Python got some renewed interest somewhat recently, because not everybody was fully well aware that it has transparent aim sights. So yes, as you can see over to here, that has some cut-off aim sight. You can only see like the important part, the red, the part where you're shooting. And I'll be honest with you, it's only like a couple millimeters just so you can see some more, but apparently that equals better value. So okay, cool. Right, so shall we go in game and do a nice little comparison? Let's go do that right now. Here we are. Chrome Bombshell Python, looking very nice and shiny. Yes. Now, we've already showcased this, but here we are. Here's the aim sight. Bang, bang, bang. Nice little reload. So, yep, this is something that a lot of people really do enjoy. But, of course, here we are. Here's the Redemption Python, looking ever so nice and shiny as well. Oh, yes. For 50 cents more, you could pick this up instead. We also happen to have the likes of the Redemption Collection, which is fairly in demand, but neither compare to the Blackout Collection, do they? A nice sleek black design that isn't very reflective, and well, bam, there you go. So, yeah. Considering the price, I think you'd much rather spend 5 times less and maybe pick this up. or, 4 times less and pick this up in comparison to the Blackout Python. The choice is up to you, but let me also point this out to you. In the past, we had a Bombshell SAR. It kind of came out, towards the end of last year. Didn't sell that much, and for a while, it didn't actually, do a good job in terms of, the price going up. What happened was, that went all the way up to $5 at some random point, and I'll showcase that in a bit, but first of all, I should showcase this on stage. Well, that's certainly looking shiny, isn't it? Whoa. Seems a bit alien in a weird way, doesn't it? So how about we do this then? There you go. Mildly better. Ah, there you go. Okay, right. So do you like the design? Do you like how it's like little tongue there for its mouth is the, the trigger? Perfectly fine looking design, and perhaps we'll be seeing a lot more of this in the future. Of course we will. We see a TGG skin every 3 to 4 months. It's to say thank you to that German guy who's always making sure that all the skins in the workshop are of the quality standard, and of course he produces his own special little collections which Facepunch see themselves, and that's what they normally pick from when they pick out the skins with all the brand new Rustors. But he only gets one skin every 3 to 4 months. And with that, she'll now go ahead and give it a good look in terms of, what the outlook is and making comparison to the SAR. So hopping out of here now. Alright, Hedge, so what gives? What's all this about with the SAR? So, I'm not being silly. Go take a look at this right now. On the Steam market, it is sitting here at $5.30. Well, that's my currency there. Oh, there you go. Oh, no, it's $5.60. So, initially, it wasn't doing super great. As you can see, it was basically like a standard SAR skin. Nobody cared, selling for about $1.40 at its worst. Kind of perked up a fair bit around November, went back down again, and then randomly, at the end of January time, what? See how this barely went up in price during post-Christmas, and then I'm not sure if someone on YouTube or someone made a short video showcasing this, but how did it go from just under $2 and now sells for over $5? Don't fully know. Something funny went happened, but point I got to get across is the same thing could potentially happen to the Python. I just want to point this out. I just want to make sure you're fully well aware, all right? So how much did that sell in the end? That did 15,600 sales. You know what? That's actually fairly average sales. So, I think we might be having a bit of a quiet week. Maybe the Python potentially could be a lot more vulnerable if it sells maybe about half as much. But we can't give you a definitive answer as of yet in terms of how much it's going to sell. At best, I think it probably will reach around 10,000 subscribers if I'm going to give you a super generalized sort of estimate. But I can give you a much clearer one if we see the first 24 hours of sales. And that's not until tomorrow, so we'll have to leave it until then. Okay, cool. Well, should we just move on from here then? Shall we talk about the tire, hoodie and pants? So if you can recall, we had some Tier 2 somewhat recently, and, the primitive clothing before that. But more specifically, with the Tier 2 Armour, that is the lowest selling blackout alternative option in terms of all the skins that we've ever had. Legacy Kevlar, Pirate Collection, Dragon Rage, and many, many more. Basically, that only did about 9,000 subscribers each. That is incredibly low. Well, not incredibly low, but low compared to the others. On average, all of those other ones did at least 20,000 subscribers. So, with not that many sales, what do you reckon happened when we saw the hoodie and pants being accepted today? There was a bit of a buyout. Not a huge one, but a bit. Now, we only got 33 listings here for the kilt, and it's looking very thin. And of course, over here we have the vest, looking very thin as well, next to no listings. And then we have the coffee can. Now, there's a very weird thing that happened here, right? Do you notice how it only has 9 listings? I don't know what's going on, but I think someone had some insider information. We had the Ruster rotation happen at 9 o'clock my time in the evening, UK time, all right? Okay? Someone, the previous night at 2 o'clock in the morning, right? Yeah? They bought 40 of them. I think someone probably knew something that other people didn't. But yeah, for some strange reason, someone felt compelled to buy out almost 40 of these on the Steam market 20 hours before the Ruster rotated. I don't know what's going on there, but I thought it was an interesting thing to point out to all of you. Anyway, all of these are doing pretty nice at the moment, the Tier 2 armor pieces. And yet, on here, on SMM, it might not be updated with the prices as of yet, but things are looking interesting, because from here and now, could we potentially anticipate some Tier 3 armor? Yes, we could. Maybe some boots and gloves. It's in the hands of Mr. Y9J, but first of all, hoodie and pants. You're selling at $1.49 each. What we have to be a little bit concerned about now is it going to sell as much as the tier 2? Are these two pieces here only going to do around 9,000 subscribers? Now, I'll point out, let's say these did maybe 10,000, 11,000. Yeah, it's a bit more compared to the tier 2, but it's still somewhat close enough. It should still be alright, especially if we still anticipate boots and gloves and, of course, tier 3 armour. But please keep an eye on it, right? Now, by all means, if you like it and you just want to grab one, a pair for yourself, then buy it, use it, enjoy it, support the skin creators. But yeah, I feel confident we'll be seeing some tier 3 at some point. I feel like that's an expectation now. But it is an assumption, it's an anticipation, and they're probably not going to get looked at for a while because of all the interest with the jungle stuff, right? There is a lot of jungle stuff that was submitted, and I'll showcase that to you a little bit later. But maybe we have to wait a while. I think it'll be smart for one on J, Mr. 34633. Okay, so should we go, showcase this? And here we are. Get a good look at this livery tire design. I made it myself. You can tell the stitching's awful. Alright, anyway, but overall, it's a fairly nice, grounded, silly idea that has turned out to be a pretty successful one. Do you like the design? Now, I know a lot of you are going to point out the colours and whatnot. I'll showcase this in a bit to you. But, first of all, shouldn't I, showcase this with the tier 2 armour? Alright, get a good look at that. So, yes, we've got like a white mouth there. You've got a little bit of a checkered design there. You've got blue and red lines. Now you're going to sit there and say, oh, some people from a distance are going to be able to notice that. Can you see it now? Can you see it now? I don't think it matters that much. I think you're being a little bit too worried for no reason, alright? So, yeah, this is looking to be pretty good. I think a lot of people will be appreciating it. And I think a lot more people will be appreciating it when we see those extra pieces potentially being accepted. But of course, we have to anticipate their arrival on the workshop first, so we have to wait a fair bit. And again, maybe it's smarter for the skin creators to just wait a little bit longer, and then they'll release it. Because again, there's going to be a lot of focus for jungle-themed skins and whatnot over the next few weeks. Right then, so let's hop out of here. So yeah, just to remind you, keep an eye on the sales, alright? That is the most important thing. From here, let's now move on and talk about the Whittled Bloom door. It's a wooden door. It's $2.49. It's going to go down to less than $1. There's your answer. I'm sorry. I know. But it is a collection continuation to the large box, which unfortunately is down to half its price. Well, okay. Well, if large boxes don't glow in the dark, people don't care. That's a sad thing to say. And, well, yeah, just to show this as well, wooden doors in general, they are not very well liked. Wooden rabbit door has only recently somewhat become available. We can't judge it yet. Adobe wooden door, down by half. Teddy Love wooden door, down by half. Serpent Light Keeper wooden door, down by half. Yeah, they're all cheap. This one's still looking very suspicious, by the way. I am under the impression this is the beginnings of a buyout, which could lead to a manipulation. Like these bars you see here, it doesn't look like they're legitimate. These are, these are there, but not these ones, right? So that's been around for a very long time. Nobody cared for it, as you can see at the sales history, and yet suddenly it's going up in price. That's a little bit too suspicious to me. So overall, with all of these skins here, they're all down by less than $1. Okay, so I'm not feeling super confident in that in terms of investment, but in terms of how does it look, well, we need to go in game and give that a good look, aren't we? Get a good look at that carved design with all the bumblebees, the sunflowers, looking ever so nice and pretty. Nice looking backside there as well. Alright then, so shall we give this a good look at night time? Get a good look at that. Doesn't appear to glow in the dark, as you can see. Not that reflective either. Okay then. And of course, total darkness. And well, yeah, so doesn't glow. What did you expect? Alright then, so with that, what are your thoughts? Do you like this carved wood design? Personally, I was looking forward to the idea of potentially seeing a wooden double door. I did ask for that. Didn't happen. It's fine. But for what it is, it's a wooden door as investment. It's not looking super great. However, if you like it and you'd like to see more of it, consider showing support to the skin creator. Consider buying one and treating yourself, right? So, looking perfectly fine. But shall we now go ahead and talk about the next skin? Because over here, we've got a little lamby lamb. This lost little lamb over here, all by himself. You could just, make a base in the field, put your chicken coop out, just, make a pretend sort of like area just for all your lambs. Just put like a bunch of boxes all around the grass and whatnot. Right then, so just turn the light on because I want to see what this looks like at night time. And it is quite reflective, but I don't think this glows in the dark. So let's go give this a good look in total darkness. No glow. No eye glow or anything. It does appear... No, I can't even see it properly. Alright then, so I thought that, maybe there might be a bit of night light and whatnot. No, it doesn't seem like that's the case. So it's cute, it's funny, it's silly, and like I said, you can put them all out in the field and whatnot. But yeah, I don't think people could be good. Well, I mean, the cute silliness of it probably will still sell nicely, and it probably will still still maybe do a decent job of retaining its price. We have had Goofy before. We've had Bunny Box. Remember the Bunny Box? Maybe we need to bring that up. Maybe we need to showcase it. So let's hop out of here. So currently, as of now, third lowest selling skin. But I'm not joking. In the past, we did see some other like cute animal designs, and if we could just load it up. So Lamb Box, you're not holiday theme, so that's a nice positive thing to be aware of. Easter Bunny Small Box. This was a holiday theme skin, but because he's so cute, he's so colourful and silly, yeah, people have appreciated it. So, okay. Maybe. And I don't expect it to sell that much as well. It's also the third lowest selling skin already, so... Interesting. Let's say that. It's interesting. Now, I should also point out that this is the first ever skin to be accepted for L3 Attar, so, congratulations to them. Let's see if they, maybe make a big lamb with a goat large box or something. Who knows? They're going to do the whole farm now. But I'm still a bit cautious. Small boxes in general, not exactly holding up super great, as you can see right here. So many of them down in price. A few of them are still doing quite right here and there. But is that enough for you to feel confident? Yeah. So, shall we now move on and talk about the next two skins? Disease, Hatchet, and Pickaxe. Weirdly, this is selling for 50 cents more, but we'll give them a good look in game in a bit, and you'll probably judge, you know what, transparency in it is cool enough to justify an extra 50 cents, I guess. This is also a skin creator that got their first ever skin being accepted. I don't know what it's covered in. A disease? Oh no, it was pox. That was it. Pox bearer. All right. We're making some sort of dong eater joke earlier. But anyway, congratulations to Cowie Meowie, their first ever skin to be accepted. Consider following them from here and now, see what they produce next. Could we see some more disease skins? Are we going to see like a disease weapon collection or something? That might be an interesting thing to consider. But tools in general, all right? We've been down this path before. What happens? All hatchets, all pickaxes, by default, they usually end up going down to $1, all right? So if you're looking at tools as an investment, bit questionable. We have got a couple of them doing quite all right, but these two skins you see here, that looks like it's starting to get manipulated. This is being manipulated. So Wasteland Hatchet, are you actually worth $28? No, it's not. People weren't buying this for $28 before. All these bars that you see here, they're all part of the manipulation. None of this is real. You're all being fooled. But yeah, it's just something that's getting inflated. Like, this was its actual genuine price, about 80 cents. But all of this here, no, that's not legitimate. So don't fall for things like this. So anyway, hopping out of here. Oh, sorry. In general, most skins, they go down to about $1 and that's it. And you can also look at the pickaxes as well and see this for yourself. So, okay, things are looking a bit questionable. But at the end of the day, you might still like the design and skins. So shall we go ahead and give them a good look? Okay, so here we have the, well, I was about to say pox bearer, but it's actually called Disease Hedge. Disease Hatchet. And yeah, it looks pretty cool. I probably don't want to keep on holding it. And over to here, we also happen to have the pickaxe. Give that a good look as well. Kind of looks a bit yucky. And of course, quick look at night time. So that, give that a good look. Does it appear to glow in the dark at all? No. Not super bright with nightlight either. I'll look at the hatchet as well. Yep, nothing going on there. Okay, well, it's a fun, creative design, right? I don't want to hold it anymore. It smells and it looks like it's going to pass on to my fingers. Alright, anyway, shall we go ahead and showcase this on stage? Well, that kind of reflects quite nicely there. Ooh, what about the pickaxe? Yeah, similar. Okay, go on in. Let's kind of position myself here and get a good look at that. Right, so That is a very nice piece of work there, Mr. Cowie Meowie. Keep it up. Let's see if you can produce some more cool looking skins. And then over on the back, we also happen to have the pickaxe. That's also looking quite yucky. In a good way. I understand what you're intending. What are your thoughts with these skins? Feel free to comment below. And now, let's wrap this up. So yeah, just be a little bit cautious. It's fully expected that these are going to go down to $1. We're just probably going to stick with doing a 60-cent, 20-cent barter. Alright then, so maybe it is going to be a bit of a calm before the storm. Maybe we're going to see some pretty ridiculous skins being accepted next week. We shall see. Maybe these won't sell that much. Maybe people will just be holding on to their wallet. Feel free to comment below what you're going to be doing. But again, at the end of the day, you know, barters, you can still do some pretty decent ones. Just hope to pick these up at a cheaper price at some point in the future. Can't rule out the possibility. So, now we have to bring up what we have seen as of recent. There you go, immediately straight onto it. Look at all that green clothing and armour there. Oh, yes, looking very nice, looking very interesting. And a tiger, just to point out, and gold, just to point out, you know, we've got some pretty cool other designs I should, you know, indicate that some people perhaps will be enjoying ever so nicely. So, yes, there's a lot of interesting jungle-themed skins that have been produced. And it's not just that, you know, we've also got, oh, I haven't even mentioned, like, the explorer designs and whatnot. Look at these. But yes, in general, lots of very cool things being produced, but simply because we're getting that jungle biome. Lots of green weaponry, and of course, with the deplorables, so many green stuff. Welcome to the jungle, we got fun and games, and loads of campers everywhere, yay. It's not going to be fun. Everyone's going to be hiding. Oh, it's going to be painful. Buddy, have you even seen the amount of like rug skins we've got? You know how there was that big craze with what Mr. Wildrum did with, you know, the camouflage net rugs covering it in the base, and then the sequel where we had the grass rug covering the high walls. Oh my, the amount of green options we're going to get potentially next week. I mean, there you go. That's just a little preview. And if you go to my YouTube shorts, you'll see a lot more of these rugs. So, oh yeah, yippee. It's going to be hell with everybody being camouflaged. Yep. Yes, it is. Now, let's hope there's, you know, an actual justifiable reason to go into the jungle, because I think a lot of people are just going to stay away. So that's what it looks like as of now. We still have this upcoming weekend as well to potentially see a lot more like jungle-themed skins being produced and whatnot. But there's been quite a lot of interesting collection continuations. And speaking of that, well, if you want to remain, you know, aware of all the new skin submissions and whatnot, consider watching my Rust Workshop skin checks. All the collection continuations are chaptered, and yeah. We'll discuss, you know, are things looking interesting? Could you potentially want to invest into those skins, or rather the skins in their collection already? And if they do get accepted, maybe those pre-existing skins might spike in price. Most notably the, you know, the clothing and armour. Okay, so back over to here. They're ready. Are you ready? Everybody's like, yay, I'm going to go super crazy and become the predator and whatnot, all that. So yeah. I shouldn't look at Twitter too much. I might see something I shouldn't. All right, then. So yeah, everything's lining up very, very fun, very, very cool. Now, when this is all kicking off on May 1st, I should also point out we're going to have Twitch drops. Yes, throughout all of May, we're going to have a batch of Twitch drops that will be given away for absolutely free. 7 skins in total. Every single one of them is a generic drop. Now, on Saturday, I will be having a lovely little video showcasing off all the skins in various different lighting and whatnot. We've got some transparency as well. I do some comparisons. I get a good look at a certain garage door that has some sort of head height transparency, but we kind of saw that last year with another garage door, so I did a comparison. So yeah, let's hop over to here and let's showcase that collection, which is, where is it? There you go. Twitch drops round 39, local legends. All the server providers get a special skin. We have 7 in total. And you can see this at twitch.facepunch.com. I should have that linked in the description. All 7 skins are right there. And don't worry, you don't have to devote a ton of hours to be able to get all of these. Just 14 in total. Remember, these are available for 4 weeks. And it's any stream on Rust. Any Rust stream on Twitch. Just make sure you have a Steam account connected to a Twitch account. All right? And if you don't know how to do that, just go over to here, connect account. And it'll go through the process in which you can get your accounts connected. It's not too hard to sort out, all right? Cool. You might need to make a brand new Twitch account, perhaps. It's really not that hard. So, yes, a video showcasing of all the skins I will have out on Saturday. Now, would you like to get a nice little preview? Why not bring out both of these large boxes here and just get a good look at them? And what do we have here? Two very nice, interesting looking designs from Rustopia and from Rustified. We have large boxes. Give that a good look. Is it that reflective? It's quite alright. About that one. Ooh, yes. Get a good look at these designs. Get a good look at that colour scheme. So which one's your favourite out of these two large boxes? I'd love to hear it. Feel free to comment below. And you're probably wondering how these happen to look at night time. Well, let's go ahead and do that. So first of all, we have the lights on. Are they reflective? Not that much. It's possible. But I know what you're here for. You want to see how they look at night time in total darkness. So there you go. Both of them super bright and super accessible. Affordable, because they're both absolutely free. Yes, all it takes is just a few hours of your time. Or, you could just idle with the tab open. Just saying. But you could get these skins for absolutely free. So yeah. What are you thinking? Do you like? Maybe you can't make up your mind and you'll just get both of them for absolutely free. Yes. All right then. So point made. Right. So consider watching the actual video on Saturday to see all the other skins. Let's hop out of here now. And this collection link, don't worry, I'll link it in the description as well. Don't forget to say thank you to TGG for building this up. Cool. Right, so what else do I need to address? Well, from here and now, you have to keep an eye on the commits, as per usual. So we're about to have the jungle update, a very big update that's been talked about for like half a year, longer. Yes it is. So I remember we were considering whether we're going to see the primitive update or the jungle update first. Of course, we understood that was the primitive update first. But what is next? We shall see. But yeah, jungle DLC as well. Do not forget, we're getting a brand new, very interesting looking batch of interesting things in a DLC pack. We're getting an AK, a rock, some special bamboo shelves, some special bamboo barrels and whatnot. Looking pretty sweet. It's probably going to cost you about $15 though. But it also looks like you're going to get in like some wallpapers with that and some special gestures. So if I could just quickly go back over to here, and if I could go to XMM to APP, go to the items. I think we have some of those items in preview here. Yep. Where are we? Yep, there you go. So that's all there. I don't think these images are final. And don't forget, we also happen to have the coconut armor, the first ever wood armor skins in the game, with the introduction of the coconut gloves. Wooden gloves, to be precise. Wooden gloves in general. So, yeah, looking pretty sweet. I'm sure a lot of people are going to be appreciating that. Oh, and you also have the very special bone knife. Cool. Right then, so hopping out of here. Keep an eye on the commits, because we'll be anticipating even more things being added. It looks like we're getting two brand new pies. Big cat pie, so when you kill the tiger, the panther, you get their meat, cook it in a pie. Not sure what that's going to give you, but there's been mentions of this hunter vision, and I'm not sure if the pie is the thing that gives you this. And then we also have crocodile pie. I don't know what that gives either, but we'll find out, won't we? Yeah, as of now, I don't fully know. Alright then, so jungle update. It's been talked about for a very, very long time. What's next? Well, we might happen to know because Naval update keeps getting mentioned. And now we're seeing mentions of a floating city. Looks like we're getting some sort of special water-themed monument. But let me just question this. What exactly would be there? If you've played Raft, you might have probably a cool idea. But is this their introduction with the ferries? Do you remember quite some time back when they were like, oh, so we want to offer the option where you can just grab all your resources, get on the ferry and just drive out of the island, the server, and then you can take all your resources and take it to another server. Technically speaking, you could probably perpetually have your all of your base probably forever, or at least all the resources you have, and slowly as time goes on, you just keep gathering more and more and more. That'd make for a very cool YouTube series, wouldn't it? So, okay, we'll see what happens, but perhaps this floating city might be like some sort of terminal where you drive away from there. Or maybe it's just quite literally a brand new monument. We don't know. It's all just fan fiction at the moment. So feel free to comment below. What do you reckon should be on here? Should we get like some scary creatures or something? I don't know. Radioactive mer people. There you go. That's really stupid, but it's something. We don't have zombies anymore. We've got something else, right? Okay, cool. So shut up, Hedge. Alright then, so we've said everything that needs to be said. I have already pointed out that I've already got a short video for the Bombshell Python. I've already got a video showcasing potentially all these brand new jungle skins. But why not, give us a nice little preview of a certain interesting green-themed jungle skin. And what do we have here? Well, I'm pairing up some Flashbacks hoodie and pants. We have Banana Leaf Jacket. A nice representative of the interesting green clothing and armor skins we've been seeing being submitted. But as I said, you've got to keep an eye on the workshop over the course of this weekend because there will be more interesting designs being made. But with like the straps here, the transparency, I think that would actually go very nicely with the brand new coconut armor. So yeah, let's just move this sun around a little bit more. There you go, there's Flashbacks. But you know what? With Flashbacks hoodie and pants, I reckon we could probably consider looking at something else that might go well with that. What could it be? What could it be? Oh yeah, Flashbacks Tier 3. Now this is actually a version 3, and this is just a preview, because in terms of all the green Tier 3 armor pieces that are submitted, there was 4 different sets, and then there was like hoodie and pants, then there was like some, jacket. We just saw that, didn't we? So yeah, just want to point this out. Again, a representative of the many green clothing armor pieces that we have seen, and I got to sit here and say, look, this is clearly jungle themed face punch. It's some sort of Vietnam-like reference. They're in the trees, man. They're shooting from the trees, come on. It fits so perfectly. I'm not super invested in the hoodie and pants. No. Maybe a little bit. But yeah, I have been pairing this up with a lot of cheap green clothing armor pieces. And if I could just quickly show my YouTube shorts. I'm not joking when I say I've been, making a lot of short videos showcasing various different things in the jungle. Look at all those green thumbnails there. Yep, there's a lot of stuff to take a look at. So if you want to get a nice, good preview before the big update next week, just take a look at all of this. I compare doors with the brand new building skin. I compare sleeping bags on the ground just to see how well they're like reasonably camouflaged to a point. I look at many different options for primitive green clothing armor, many different options for standard clothing armor. Like, there is so much there, and I'm sure a lot of you will be appreciating that, so for your consideration. And so with that, shall we now consider wrapping up this video? Okay, so thank you very much for watching the video. Much appreciated. Thank you for sticking around for this long. And let's be optimistic with next week. We theoretically could see the beginning of the summer in terms of like nice price rises. We are expecting a lot of people to turn up next week, alright? If the highest ever peak player count we've seen in Rust is 259,000, I think we could potentially get close to or surpass it, alright? I'm leaning more towards we'll probably see like June or July probably beat it. Kids are still in school. But June, July time, summer vacation, something to consider. So yes, a lot of people are expected to appear for the summer this year. Last year, during the summer, we had a very good turnout. With what we have now is like kind of silly compared, but I am expecting some pretty solid numbers for the summer. I'm thinking we're probably going to do 120,000 average per month again, and maybe more. And with a lot more people playing, it is expected that prices should improve. Last year's summer, in 2024, we had many skins reach new all-time high prices, and that's what's keeping me nice and positive. That's what I'm looking forward to. So yeah, that is basically everything. Thank you very much for watching the video. I greatly appreciate it. It's been a bit of a goofy month, hasn't it? It most certainly has.